Are there things that you took away from triathlon that you used in winning this race?
Every single day. So I tell folks all across the country that I am grateful to have a background in endurance sports because, you know, in the middle of an Ironman, I don't know, it's about halfway through the bike where you think to yourself, I want to get off this bike and lay down on the side of the road and I don't want to do this anymore. But you instead just go a little faster, push a little harder. And the same is true when you're running an ultra marathon or when you're running the last leg of your triathlon. What triathlon really teaches you is that you've got these hills and valleys of emotion and difficulty throughout the day, but it's your job to have the mental strength and fortitude to get through it and to stay calm and to stay focused and to remember that you actually can do it. I'll tell you, in this last weeks of the Senate campaign, I thought about that every day. The other thing that I would say is this, and this is not something you get to talk about a lot on the campaign trail, but one of the things that helped me keep my composure and my equanimity throughout the race was the fact that I get up and train every morning, every single morning, no matter how difficult the day before was, that I get to start each morning fresh, either cycling, running, or swimming. And by doing so, I allow my body and my brain to reset, and that allows me to get up and do the hard work each day.
Will you be able to continue that, do you think, with this new job?
Yeah. I'm racing Indian Wells next weekend, and I'm going to do Ironman New Zealand in March. And I'm going to say this because one of the things I do is to put out my big audacious goals publicly. So I have to do it. I'm going to try and qualify for the Boston Marathon.
Oh,
isn't that crazy?
That is.
I know. I don't know if I can do it, but I'm going to do it. Sure, I can do it.
Yeah, that really high goal, right?
I'm going to do it. So I will continue to train and continue to race. And I couldn't be more excited to enter this new challenge in my life with the tools and skills that I've learned from triathlon.
What are some of the things that we can be doing for women in this sport? What are some of the suggestions that you have?
So the first thing I would do is tell a story about a woman who actually is here with me today. It's a friend of mine. Her name is Heather. She's a single mom of 7 children. 4 of her children are adopted special needs kids. When I met her, she was a runner. And she said, I want to start doing triathlon. So I helped her find a bike. I gave her some tips on swimming. I'm not very good at that.
So we learned.
And I became her coach. And I still coach her today. She's completed 2 full Ironmans and is training for another full Ironman in the spring. If she can do this, any woman can do it. She's a single mom of 7 kids, right? But what she needed to be successful in the sport is just someone to support her and help her. And so over the past several years, I've been lucky to coach her and to help her along the way. But I gotta tell you, I've actually gained more from it than I think she has. Whenever I think to myself, gosh, I'm having a hard day or things are really difficult, I think about Heather. My life is easy, right? And so that's the kind of thing I would say first to women, is that find another woman to help, to partner with, and to make her feel like she actually can do anything. So that's at the individual level. At the collective level, which is what I hope we do more of with this work like here at Outspoken, I think we need to create meaningful and purposeful activities and structures that recruit women into the sport and support them as they grow in the sport.
You know poverty firsthand.
Yes.
What about breaking down barriers across socioeconomic levels?
So Women for Tri, which I'm the chair of the advisory board for, did a survey several years ago to find out what are the greatest barriers to participation in triathlon for women. The first one was financial resources. The second was childcare. And the third was really the fear of swimming. I identified with that one. Actually, I identified with all of them. And so for many women, especially women who are juggling a household and maybe life, additional life duties, it can be overwhelming how expensive the sport is. So part of what we do at Women for Tri is do a program on Wednesdays called Giveaway Wednesday, where we encourage women to give their items away to other women. But there's also ways that you can participate in this sport without being wealthy. So finding bikes that are used, lending bikes, making sure that women get access to free race entries when they're needed, breaking down those barriers so that more women can participate. And that's something that I've really spent a lot of time working on in recent years, because as a kid I would never have considered triathlon. I didn't know how to swim. I couldn't afford a bike. My shoes were hand-me-down. I mean, all I could do was run. But now we have so many resources worldwide that we actually can break down those barriers and help women get access to affordable ways to participate.
Anything else you'd like to add?
I mean, I could talk about triathlon all day, but I have to go do more work. So I think the key thing I would say, and this is, just kind of echoing what I said in my comments to the women here today, the energy and excitement that I feel at the Outspoken Summit is incredible. But my challenge to us as a group is to turn that excitement into actionable change. We've got to create audacious goals and then workable, practical plans to actually turn those goals into reality. It is absolutely 100% possible. I do it every day. These women do it every day. It's our responsibility to do this for our sport and for the women in our sport.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thanks so much.